Durban Music Experience. We're back again with another electrifying episode. Right now we do have Asandaldn here with us. I'm very excited to be here with you. Asandaldn, how are you doing, ma'am?
I'm good, how are you?
I am fantastic. Listen, I was here before you played your set, and up until now it was amazing. But I want to ask you, let's just talk about Asandaldn. Who is Asandaldn?
Okay, so hi everyone. It's been a pleasure to be here at Durban Music Experience. I'm Asandaldn.
Yeah.
From London.
Amazing, yeah.
I've been in SA now for about a month and a half.
Yeah.
Been to Cape Town, been to Joburg for the first time. I'm in Durban for the first time. Then I'll be
That's you.
Yeah, and I'm going to be here. I'm about halfway through my trip, so I'm going to be here for another a month and a half.
Yeah.
Going around back to Jersey, over to Cape Town, and then I'll fly home at the end of August. So this trip really for me has been something that allows me to take, because I have a radio show back home called Daring Deeply, which I started in November, which is where I'm able to plug the latest up and coming tracks that come out of the producers here in SA, as well as music that I'm just really loving, and that I think has picked up so much traction over the last few months that South Africa's been able to kind of see what I'm doing over there. So now I'm here to DJ around, and it's amazing how quickly everything seems to have kind of rolled into DJing and learning, and
Absolutely.
you know, in like a couple of months.
Yeah.
I've been a DJ for a year and a half.
Amazing.
And
Amazing.
I think I'm someone who is just a student of the sound.
Yeah.
I'm mesmerized by deep house music. I know we're going to get into how I came to find deep house, SA deep house, how I came to have the name Asanda. I know we're going to get into all of that. But for the most part, I would say Asandaldn is a student of the sound. I'm very much here to learn and soak it in and be a devotee of deep house music, you know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Man, that's so beautiful. I love that. Listen, Asanda, you spoke about being here for the first time. Welcome to Durban. We welcome you.
I'm not leaving. I won't go.
Yeah, but listen,
you kick me out. I won't go.
Listen, we're not going to kick you out. So I want to ask you, because you mentioned that the name behind Asandaldn,
Yes,
it has a story to it. How did you get that?
I've actually not shared this in a video form yet.
Okay, exclusive.
So this this is kind of exclusive.
Okay.
Some people know about it, but there's been so many people that have just come to learn who I am that I think lots of people don't know about it. So my name is Nilam.
Okay.
The name Nilam means sapphire, diamond, blue. It means blue in Sanskrit.
Amazing.
Yeah, and for the story, it's quite a long story, but I'll cut it shorter.
Yeah.
I'm one of 5 girls. So my mum and dad had 5 daughters, and they had my 2 older sisters when they were like years and years ago. So my older sisters are really, really quite a lot older than we are.
Yeah.
And they kept trying for a boy, because in Indian culture, in Hindu culture, there is this necessity to keep producing an heir, you know.
Yeah.
And they actually didn't get one. So it's not like I grew up in a home where I was celebrated as a baby, you know. My parents did the best that they could, but there wasn't this like aspect of like, wow, and another one.
Yeah.
And then I came to South Africa for a volunteering trip back in 2017. I had applied with the British government for a volunteering scheme because I was so into charity and everything.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh, maybe they'll send me to Nepal. And so I had asked for Nepal, but then you don't get to choose where you get sent. So I was sent to South Africa, and I was like, okay, cool, let me go to a village for 3 months in South Africa. It ended up being Eastern Cape, in a place near Umtata called Gumbu. And so I stayed there for 3 months with a village, like in a village with a community, you know, showering out of a bucket with 3 other Xhosa women, you know, learning Xhosa.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, and they gave me this name, and they would speak to me in Xhosa, and they gave me this name Asanda, and they would say to me, you know, this means and another one. It means the family is growing.
Yeah.
And when I really understood what that name meant, I just kind of, when I got back home after that trip, all the kids, all like the school, like everyone was just speaking to me in Xhosa. And what I loved the most was the music and the kids and the going to school and the languages and the culture.
Yeah.
And I just fell in love with it. And I could understand things that people were saying. I could speak back to them, you know. Yeah, I can say Wenzani, I can say Upi, I can say Yizap, all this stuff in Xhosa, which I know there's like similarities.
It is.
But yeah, there's like, it's interesting because when I went back to the UK, I wanted to be around that sound. I wanted to just continue being close to the house. I was like, this house sound, at the time it was gone playing in the taxis, right? And so, but they were playing Prince KB, and they were playing Boosie, and they were playing Babes Waduma, and they were, you know, and I was like, what is this? I cannot stop moving. So I'd go back home, and those I kind of, the South Africans back home started calling me Asanda, because that was what my Instagram handle was.
For sure,
I had created a profile just for grooving. I wasn't a DJ by this point.
Okay.
And then 2 years ago, I thought, let me go to Cape Town, because I've been to Eastern Cape, but let me actually go back to SA and experience the music. So I came out for 3 months. I was in Cape Town the whole time. I tried to go to Joburg. Everyone was like, you're not going there on your own. You're not going there on your own. In the end, I prepped, when I got back from Cape Town, I realised that I really liked this deep house sound. And that was I was in Cape Town from February till April 2023. So that's 2 years ago now, just over 2 years ago. And when I went back home, I was like, I think I want to DJ. But I think I want to DJ SA Deep House. What does that represent as an Indian hun in London? Who would only play SA Deep House, you know?
Absolutely.
Because I have to think about the space that I take up as someone that isn't South African, and if it's something that would be embraced. And what just like the kind of power and privilege dynamics of it all. I mean, I have to learn what space I take up as a conscious human being in general. So I had a few conversations with people, and I said, what do you think? I want to DJ, but I would only want to DJ SA Deep House. And they were like, do it. You should absolutely do it. Because music is meant to be shared. You know, my friend Sharice, I often talk about this part. My friend Sharice is Zimbabwean and South African, and I asked her, and she said, music is meant to be shared and felt and experienced. And you'll always know that. You'll always be able to do that. So then 1.5 years ago, I became a DJ, and I kept the name Asanda, and I added London on the end of it. And it means so much. The story comes full circle, because the name that was given to me is a celebration of me coming into the life, you know? Which is different from my actual story. Which I didn't, and so I just love both names. I love when people call me Nilam. I love when people call me Asanda. And it just lights up people's faces. Like the fact that I'm able to come here to SA, to different parts of SA, and get to have conversations with people, and they can turn to me and they can just say Asanda, and it feels like home to them. And then it feels like home to me. So it's like, in a way, I was kind of cautious about the name for a while, and then now that I'm out here, I'm like, I'm so glad I kept that name. I'm so glad I kept that name.
Man, listen, Asanda, I'm just listening to you. I'm just beaming with joy, because it's such a beautiful story. So I want to ask you, Asanda, what made you choose Deep House?
You know, I wouldn't, like, my thing with sharing music has just been like, I just want to be close to the music, and it hasn't bubbled over to the point where I'm like, I want to DJ, until I heard the likes of, for example, Andy La Andy, Odd Experience. I think even Artwork Sounds at the time. This was like literally only 2 years ago. I was listening, my algorithm on Spotify would keep rewarding me with more and more of the same sound, and I would look at the producers. Eventually I started doing some digging, and I started looking at who out of this playlist that I've created, if I one day magically become a DJ, let me just see if maybe it happens, you know. This playlist that I've created of the songs that I would want to get on my USB, every single one of them was South African produced. Every single one of them was Deep House 115 to 118 BPM. And I didn't know that until I put the songs into my record box. I had collected them, I got them, I purchased a few at the time, you know, I was torrenting them, it was a hustle. And some people had sent me songs, and then when I actually started the radio show and I started purchasing the music and getting sent promo, and this thing started blowing up to the point where I'm getting to hear people's music first before other people have heard it. And I'm in charge of like how I'm going to distribute it on the show and get people to listen to how cool it is. You know, all of those things have very much come to me through embracing Deep House even more. And I zoomed into SA, and I landed in SA Deep House, and then I'm now zooming out to do the knowledgeable thing, which is recognize, where did the influence of Deep House in SA even come from? The likes of Louis Vega, the likes of Etches, Charles Webster, Ron Trent, all these guys that like and girls and everyone that's contributed to the house space, soulful house space. But there is something unique about South African deep house that just, I think that the unique history and recent history of South Africa means that art and music is a release and a way of connecting with freedom. It's a message, it's a protest, it's ceremonial. Music has been part of like people's, especially I have this in all indigenous cultures, and my Indian culture, music is part of that culture. So I think with South African deep house, there is something that connects me to it that goes beyond just like this is this kind of sound. It's kind of it kind of means a lot more, because I remember those kids that I built those relationships with who first started calling me Asanda. You know, I start to recognize how how beautiful South Africa's philosophies are as a country. Things of Ubuntu, the spirit of Ubuntu, spirit of we're only people through each other. You know, all these kind of like ideas and just wonderful beings that have really created a culture of South Africa to be so loving. And I see it, I can see it, and I see it in how I've been embraced this time round as well. This time round, being here as a DJ for the first time, I've been embraced more than ever I could ever have imagined.
Nice.
So yeah.
And I'm so happy for you, Asana, but I'm going to take a short break. Just 1 second. Toila. Okay, Asanda, thank you so much for sharing that story with me. You know, and your love and your passion for this country and the sound as well. So I want to ask you right now, what are you working on? What can we expect from Asandaldn?
You know, I would never have expected that. I knew I was coming to SA for 3 months, but I could never have expected that people would have, booked me. I could never expected that I would be chilling with the guys that I've been so inspired and influenced by, and getting to actually like see them play. I knew that I'd be somewhere in the room. I just didn't know I'd be like going from A to B with them and learning and getting such a like up close and personal insight into how the deep house space works all across SA. I haven't really been able to engage too much with the vinyl guys, like your Vinny Da Vinci's, Christos, all of those guys in Pretoria.
But it's going to happen soon.
I think it will happen. I met him briefly at Muchi's birthday in Kailama in Jersey. But for me, I didn't know this was gonna happen. So I don't know what's gonna happen. It's taken me off guard. And the thing is, I put out an intent. Like I've known that my this thing that God has given me, this light, is to be music as a vessel for that. So I've known that, and I think it's I've embodied it and I've stepped into it all at the same time as being out here. And then people have been able to see that enthusiasm and that thirst and that hunger and just go, okay, we're going to book her. So when I get back home, for me, I'm going to let everything land. I just want to take it completely like how nature does. Just take it in the flow that it comes. And let the creative ideas land so that I can go into, okay, what are my next steps? Because I would love to be running events, deep house events over there in the UK. You know, I would love to keep coming back over. Yeah, that's my intention. I have my show Daring Deeply. So actually in Durban, we're doing a Daring Deeply first kind of event on Sunday. Bushman will be playing there. Adelo, who's here, will be playing. Nedistic Touchy's playing now. He was just playing. Is playing. You know, so it's like I'm really keen to allow for the different things that I witness, see what my part to play in that looks like. And I'd love to make music one day, and I think that will happen. But again, I'm not in any rush to start doing that just because it's going to help my brand. I really have to learn the production, and for the people that have been witnessing my journey to see in all of my honesty, all the messy truths, all the times I think I haven't done well, I share all of that out there straight away so that people can see, even in your messy state, you have to do it anyway. Absolutely. Even in the non-perfect state, do it anyway. Because that's a creative outlet that is spiritual to you. So I'm kind of trying to be completely like, be an example for, hopefully, for those folks that are like, I kind of think I want to put myself out there a bit more. Maybe I should do that. And I'm hoping that when they witness me do that, that also inspires them to like, be yourself, you know, like, be yourself. and do the thing that scares you so much that you're like, if this happened, I'd be I'd be living in a dream, you know, this would be amazing. And so that's happening for me, and whatever that thing is for everyone, as soon as you find that purpose and that thing that, you know, the universe, God, the higher presence sent you here to do, nothing can stop you then, because people can see how electric it is. They can see how you were sent here to do this. And then doors just have been flinging open for me. And I appreciate that there's quite a few things there that would be impacting that. I'm from the UK, I speak with a British accent, I'm an Indian hun. I'm an Indian hun in Durban playing deep house music. You have all these Indians here. You had to import this Indian to come and play deep house music. You've got Indians everywhere. Why did it take the imported Indian to come and play your music here, you know?
Okay, so, you know, Asandaldn, without wasting so much of your time, thank you so much for being here once again. I appreciate the lovely message behind what you're doing, and I'm so proud of you, and onwards and upwards. And we're here with Asandaldn, Durban Music Experience. We are
Thank you so much for having me.